Wait for it. Wait for it. Hey movie fans, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. So one of my all-time favorite TV shows is Psych. Now, not nearly enough people have seen Psych because everyone needs to have seen Psych. It's amazing. And lately, they just announced that the whole cast will be returning for a Psych movie due out later this year in December. Yes! So, to celebrate, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 best Psych episodes of all time. Now, there's been over 100 episodes, so it's really hard to narrow down, so I'm just going to go with my top 5 personal favorites. However, I will only be doing the television episodes, so as great as the musical episode was, it's not on this list. Sorry. At number 5, we have High Top Fade Out. Now, Psych has had many great guest stars over the years, from William Shatner to Freddie Prinze Jr. to Kerry Washington, all the way to Phylicia Rashad being a recurring guest as Gus's mom. However, High Top Fade Out not only has 1, but 2 great guest stars that just really brought their A-game to this episode and made it absolutely hysterical, with Kenan Thompson and Jaleel White, better known as Urkel from Family Matters. The 2 of them are formerly members of Gus's a cappella group that he was a member of in college, and so they're looking to find out what happened to their 4th guy, and more or less they hire Sean and Gus, who Sean's all excited because he always wanted to be in an a cappella group as a kid, and Gus wants no part of it because he had a falling out with his a cappella group. What results is absolute hilarity, with Kenan Thompson really bringing his Saturday Night Live A-game. The dude is hysterical, but Jaleel White not being a slouch either. All 4 men in this episode have fantastic chemistry, as well as some great musical numbers, and this absolutely just makes the list for the Boyz II Men cover of the Psych theme song alone. That's awesome. Psych always had some great theme song covers for depending on the episode. This one was one of my all-time favorites, the a cappella cover of Psych. The episode was hysterical. I can rewatch it all the time. It's one of the all-time greats, thanks in no small part to the guest stars in the episode within it. At number 4, we have Any Given Friday Night at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central. Whew, that is a mouthful for one single episode name. So this one follows Sean and Gus going undercover as trainers in a football camp to figure out what happened to the local football team's missing kicker. And oh my goodness, so much hilarity. While the previous entry relies more on its guest stars, this one relies mainly on the chemistry between Sean and Gus, which is always strong throughout the whole 8 seasons, but this one takes the cake in terms of quippy dialogue and just great character interactions, and a plethora of 80s references. Where else can you run into Ralph Macchio at a Del Taco? Only in Psych, I guess. The episode's just hysterical. That's one of the ones, if I only have to show someone what Psych is all about in 1 or 2 episodes, this is one of the top contenders. I will get to the number 1 episode I always show people. That's on the list somewhere. But this is always up there too. Some great humor, great just tongue-in-cheek 80s references, and really just good banter between Sean and Gus, which is really what the show is predicated on, as well as a really good mystery. At number 3, we have Last Night Gus. Now, when I saw the advertisements for this one, I remember when it came out, I was like, this could be good. And then when I saw it, this is probably the Psych episode that I died laughing the hardest. Holy cow. So what this is, it follows Sean, Gus, Detective Lassiter, and Coroner Woody. I'm just going to call him Coroner Woody because that's what his name is and his job title. So all 4 of them wake up not knowing what happened the night before. And apparently all of Santa Barbara fell apart when these guys aren't at their peak, as there's a dead body missing in the police department. Lassiter's missing bullets in his gun, and it seems like he may have killed somebody while they're all out of commission. It's really just a Hangover parody, like the movie Hangover, except a lot funnier. Sorry, I'm not a Hangover fan. But it's basically them trying to figure out what happened last night to all of them. Bizarre random cameos aplenty in this episode. Really funny hijinks of filling in the blank. Woody at his absolute best. The coroner, when he came in High Top Fade Out, that was his debut episode, ironically, He brought his absolute A game in this episode. The coroner is by far the funniest thing in this whole episode. His relationship with Lassiter, but Gus's reaction to the whole situation of forgetting what happened the night before, everything else, thinking he finally picked up a girl. Oh, it's just wonderful. It's hysterical. It's Psych at its best. At number 2, we have Not Even Close Encounters, starring Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah, that Freddie Prinze Jr. So we had 3 characters from She's All That at one point or another on Psych, with Rachel Lee Cook, Gus, obviously, and Freddie Prinze Jr. Shame we never got them all on the same screen at the same time. Oh well, Freddie Prinze Jr. was one of the best guest stars in Psych history. Not the best. We'll save that for the next entry. But Freddie Prinze Jr. was absolutely hysterical. So he basically plays this nerd that Sean and Gus went to school with, except he's grown up to become the handsome Freddie Prinze Jr. As a kid, he was this awkward, large, dorky kid. Now he's grown up to marry a very attractive wife. He's doing very well for himself, very handsome. He's still a huge dork, as Sean and Gus discover, as they think that they have stumbled upon an alien abduction, and they have to piece together what happened to this abduction. And so Sean, for once in his entire life, is the voice of reason, whereas Gus and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character really want it to be aliens and are completely convinced that they're aliens and will find any reason to just don all kinds of geeky attire for this case, as well as making a whole bunch of nerd references, which of course I appreciate, but I don't think anybody else besides Freddie Prinze Jr. could have done this because he himself is a huge nerd. The episode is hysterical. They even poke fun at Sean's psychic abilities themselves because they're in the know that he's not actually psychic. It's just wonderful, hysterical, one of the best endings to an episode as well, with what happens with Freddie Prinze Jr.'s wife in the episode. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is probably one of the all-time best Psych episodes, one of the ones that I laughed the hardest at. However, it's not the best. At number 1, we have American Duos, starring Tim Curry. Yeah, this is the one that whenever I'm telling people you need to watch Psych, I don't take them to the pilot episode, or Last Night Gus, or even Not Even Close Encounters. I take them straight to American Duos, because that is Psych at its best, Psych at its funniest, and a really good mystery. So what American Duos is Nigel St. Nigel, played by Tim Curry, a la Simon Cowell more or less, is a judge on a singing competition that thinks he's being, attempted murders are being placed on him. So he goes to different cities. Different murder attempts happen to him, so he more or less hires Sean and Gus, because he doesn't trust the police department, to protect him. So they have to go undercover as a pair of singing guys, and boy, neither of them can carry a tune. It's just hysterical hijinks, tons of 80s references, off-the-wall humor, but the whole time just having a good spirit and good-hearted nature to it. It never goes into vulgar territory. It's still lighthearted fun that you can watch with the whole family. Tim Curry is absolutely wonderful. I grew up watching him as Long John Silver in Muppet Treasure Island. Now I don't think of him in that way. I only ever think of him now as Nigel St. Nigel from American Duos, to which I laughed a couple years after this episode came out that they had another singing show in the very same spirit of American Duos, more or less copying from Psych. I was like, you stole from Psych, but I can't be mad at you because it's a great idea. Great mystery, great humor, the quintessential Psych episode of if you don't know what Psych is, watch American Duos and that will help you decide if it's for you or not, which Psych is for everybody. Well, what'd you guys think? What's your all-time favorite Psych episode or Psych moment? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you see and want to see more, subscribe to the channel, or find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Uncharted Media. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals!